Are we live?
We're live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Atlantic Builders Facebook Live page. I'm Chris Burns. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Atlantic Builders. Today I'm joined with my friends from Caliber Home Loans, Mr. Mitch Rogers, Rhoda Rollin. Sorry for how we're set up with Rhoda in the corner, but we have to social distance and follow some protocols so we could come to you today to share some very helpful hints on how to acquire a brand new Atlantic Builders home and what happens to be probably the hottest selling season in over a decade, and also how to take the necessary steps to acquire financing on how to make that purchase. So that's where our friends from Caliber Home Loans will step in and help us. So we're going to take a few minutes today, and I'm going to give a little bit of a highlight of what you can expect when you start your home buying purchase with Atlantic Builders. Since you're following us on Facebook, I'm hoping many of you have been to our website at atlanticbuilders.com. If you have or you haven't, please visit there. And if you have been there, you've probably seen where we are set up with some of the most sophisticated buying tools available in the new home building industry. On our website, you can find convenient tools for path to ownership, basically guiding you on the steps that you're going to take and what you'll experience during your new home purchase. You'll find virtual tours of our model homes, so you can, instead of coming to the community right away, you can browse through all the different designs that we offer at your own pace. You can build a wish list with our online digital design center, our Envision program. And you can also build your floor plan with our very fun and informative interactive floor plan tool. So all this is for free, and it's all found at atlanticbuilders.com. Now, once you've had the opportunity to really see all the different regions and locations and the different products that we offer, we want you to come visit us at one of our many model homes. The Atlantic Builders model homes are all the latest fashions, modern designs. They're beautifully merchandised to really to give you a really great idea on how your home may fit your lifestyle and your needs once you come and move in. Each model home center is staffed with a very, very friendly professional team that is here basically to help guide you, learn what your needs are, and show you the available options so we can make sure whatever it is that you're needing, we can provide the options and see if we can make that happen for you. Now, of course, one of the biggest and one of the most, I guess, the fear of the unknown could be financing. I'm not a banker, you're probably not a banker. If you are, you're probably not really, you're probably just trying to tune in and see what these guys are going to say. But with buying a new home, the thing that we probably want to understand the most is, what is our buying power? What is it? How do I need to be prepared financially to purchase a brand new home? I'm going to turn that over to Mitch and Rhoda in just a moment to help explain that. But now it's the most incredible time with just the amazing values that are on new homes. And if anyone's watching the news, they're also probably seeing that we're at historically low interest rates. Great values, very low interest rates, typically means very good purchasing power and a really good time to explore what's available and to see if now's the time that's right for you to buy a home. So having said that.
Well, first, thanks for having us out here. We try to keep our process in line with exactly how you go too. We have, you can do everything on the internet. You can kind of get some rates. You can get some loan amounts and get the pre-approval process started there. But if you need to come and see us in person at the end of the process, we're there for you. But you're mentioning purchase power. We are seeing the lowest rates that I've seen in the industry since I started 15 years ago. And what that means for you is interest rates are about 1 point lower than they were last year. So on a $450,000 loan amount, that's about $255 less per month now. So with that same payment, you could be looking at a $520,000 loan amount, which will get you into the market for almost anything, any house of your dreams, and especially anything in the price points for Atlantic Builders for the most part. It's unprecedented. And also what you're seeing too, if you need any help with closing costs, you can take this historically low rate, maybe bump it by an eighth or a quarter and get some help there. So it's a perfect time, and reach out anytime if you want to see any quotes, see what the monthly payment would be and what the cost would be to purchase a new home. And we try to keep everything easy as well. So if you're looking to get a pre-approval, we make that easy as possible. We have an app you can get for your phone. You can give us a call. You can go online and do the application. Normally we can do an application and get your pre-approval the same day, and then piggyback later for the documents needed. So we try to make that as easy as possible. But you're correct. It's probably the best time I've ever seen to purchase, and we're here to facilitate any of that for you all and make it as easy as possible.
Very cool. So Mitch, unfortunately it's been a while since I've had to fill out a mortgage application.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that today. But how can what should I expect when what you said I could do it on my phone? I can go on the website. What should I expect? Like, what sort of information do I need to provide?
Right.
How long is it going to take me? If I want to go look at model homes this weekend, is it something that I need to do days in advance, or what should I do?
Right. So we, like I said, we can knock out the pre-approval the same day. Now, as far as the application process, if you go online and do it, probably takes 20 to 30 minutes at most. You're going to put in information such as your social security number, your employment information, and your liabilities, kind of your asset information. But a lot of that we can verify digitally. So a lot of employers are on what's called the work number. So once you put your social security number in, we can actually verify your income. Pretty much 9 out of 10 companies use this, and then we don't have to get W-2s or anything to verify. So if we get that, we can send an ironclad pre-approval over to the salesperson same day, which means by the time you go for your first visit, design center visit, you'll already have that contractual obligation done with. We'll have the pre-approval letter completed. If we do need to get some pay stubs and so forth, we'll get those right away, and it may take a day. But so I would, if you're going to go meet and go to the design center, give us a day or two. But most of the time, we get it done the same day.
Well, and as an example, although it's not ideal, we do, sometimes people show up at a model and it's their first time looking for a house, and so they're not exactly sure of any part of the process. And we'll get a call from one of the great salespeople and be able to take that person's information over the phone at that time. And in some cases, pre-approve them while they're out looking at lots and picking exactly which house they're going to potentially purchase. So that's another quick, efficient way that we can help people get pre-approved and feel confident and comfortable with moving forward.
Yeah, and for anyone that doesn't want to rely on all technology, we're still here. Give us a call. We'll meet in person, face-to-face, once all the COVID regulations allow it. But we're happy to do it over the telephone, meet in person, and really add a personal touch to it. The technology is more of an added bonus, but some people will use that all the way through, and I will meet the people until we go to closing at the end, because that's a lot of the new generation. That's what they prefer. So we have that. Also, if you get the app after your application and your loan's going through the process, you can actually see the process of your loan, see when your appraisal comes in, see when your approval's done, all in real time while it's going on. So it gives you that peace of mind that while they're building your home, you can also see how your application process is going through. So, but again, it's not all technology. Give us a call anytime, and we're more than happy to meet face to face.
So I have another question. I think I have a lot of questions there. So I get an interesting email from you that will sometimes give me different rates for different loan products.
Right.
We build we've got close to 20 different communities. We're building single-family detached homes and amenity-filled communities like Embry Mill or Spring Creek or Fawn Lake. I've got acreage communities throughout Stafford County and Spotsylvania and Louisa. So we're building in a big area. But what are the typical type of loan programs that you might see from our buyers, and what do they need to expect in terms of like down payments or?
Well, that goes into some of the myths that people are concerned about when it comes to buying a house. Some people are concerned that they might need to have a full 20% to put down in order to buy a house, and that's simply not the case. The best loan out there, as it should be, is the VA loan. And our veterans are typically able to buy without any down payment. criteria, and so we try to be flexible. In some cases, and for some of your communities, there are 0% down for non-VA purchases.
Wow.
But again, probably the biggest myth is that people are concerned that they need to save up that 20% down to avoid any mortgage insurance. But for somebody who has a great credit profile, they can actually probably save more money now buying with less down because the rates are so great.
Hey Rhoda, we do have a question.
Yes.
Ricky asked, could you speak more to VA loans?
Yes, so a VA loan, if you are a veteran, you are eligible as long as you have a certificate of eligibility and you haven't previously used or I should say you aren't currently using your VA loan for another home, then you are eligible for 0% down, and there is no longer a limit that would have any impact on any Atlantic Builders homes.
Thank you.
Well, that's good. So the options available on both sides.
Yeah, and if they're not using the VA product, you asked like what we're seeing out there. So
Right.
for a conventional home loan, we're seeing with you all about 5 to 10% down payment seems to be the normal. With those programs that are requiring a down payment. And like she said, the mortgage insurance, if you have a high credit score, the mortgage insurance isn't that much. It actually, sometimes we can give a lower interest rate when mortgage insurance is on there because it's less risk for the investor. So sometimes we can go an eighth lower on interest rate, and you have the mortgage insurance, you're only seeing maybe $30 or $40 in payment. And that mortgage insurance can be removed. Once your property has 20% equity in it, you can petition with us to have the mortgage insurance removed. So it's kind of like a refinance without having to incur any closing costs. So mortgage insurance isn't the end-all be-all, and that's one of the most common myths out there. But it allows you to keep 10% of your own money that you may want to furnish your house or add more upgrades with the design center and so forth. So definitely look into the low down payment options. It doesn't have to be 20%.
Yep. Rhoda, you mentioned that something about perfect credit, but I know that credit doesn't always have to be. We know things happen in life that can cause different adjustments on our credit report. Things happen, right?
That's
So
so true.
what sort of range in credit scores do we typically need to start at in order to qualify for just a typical loan? And if I don't know what my credit score is, how do I find out? How do I find out what it is?
Those are great questions, and you also sort of brought up another potential myth out there. The myth being that I have to have perfect credit to buy a house, and that's not the case. We do like to typically see a score no lower than 620. A lot of people do use Credit Karma and some of those other online functionalities. Your credit card company might send you a score. Those are called consumer scores, and those are not accurate. They're more of a ballpark of where your score might be. So people are unfortunately, people are sometimes surprised, good or bad, when we pull their actual FICO credit score. If people do want to get that, they can go to annualcreditreport.com, and it is free to get a credit report once a year. As far as I know, that you do actually have to pay for the score, but at least the report will show you if there's any derogatory things going on in your credit. And then the other nice thing is that we have a lot of our clients who are doing new builds that during the period where they're having their house built have been able to improve their credit score. So we might have somebody who we start out looking at an FHA loan, because an FHA loan is usually the best option for somebody who has challenged credit other than the VA loan. And possibly by the time their house is close to being built, if they follow some of the advice that we've given them, they can get their credit score up high enough to go with a conventional loan, which will then allow a much lower overall payment. So that's always something that, having a little bit of time is nice, and we're always happy to work with all of our clients to review their credit and see what we can do and what we can recommend for them to do to get the best possible rate and overall payment.
And just to add on, one positive thing that the federal government did in the last couple of years was when you're out searching for a mortgage and you get your credit pulled by a mortgage company, you have a 30 to 45 day window where that next pull, if you went to another mortgage company, won't hurt your credit at all. So the government wants you to be able to look and shop different lenders out there just to make sure you're getting the best rate. So a lot of people are reluctant. They'll take their Credit Karma score, know they're in a range, and they're reluctant to have their credit pulled because they've been working on it so long. And we get it. But if you're going and you're really serious about buying, call us or call your lender to get that first pull going. And then you'll know what it's called a tri-merge score. So they get it from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And it's ironclad, and you're not going around with a score that maybe high represented higher, and but they can shop around for 30 to 45 days without even being a hit to their credit.
Do we have any questions so far, Casey, for about any financing questions?
We do not have financing questions per se, more of earnest money deposit, and we've got one. Yes, actually two on earnest money deposit.
Great, ask away.
All right.
What's the question?
So Sam said, when you pick a model, how long does it take? But his second question is also, how much do we have to give the builders to start the process?
That's a wonderful question.
Maylise also had a similar question. What is the earnest money deposit required?
Excellent question. Let's take the scenario that you are coming to see us and you're going to be purchasing a home, basically from the ground up. We're going to pick a home site. We're going to pick a home type. You're going to be able to personalize it with the options that you would like to have in your home. And our deposit, remember, deposit is actually going to be credited to your side of settlement. It'd be applied towards either as a down payment or towards closing cost. To get started, we collect an earnest money deposit of 3% of your contract price. We do that once you've selected your home, your property type, and any structural options. Structural options are they're fun things like having a finished basement. Maybe you want a fireplace in your home. That could be something that could be added. We have some large home sites too that accommodate 3-car garages or detached garages, 2- and 3-car detached garages. Those are things that would make up your sales price, and we'll collect a percentage of your sales price in earnest money deposit. We take a second deposit when you go to the design center. That's actually one of the unique things about the Atlantic Builders home buying experience. With our trained team on site, they're experts in how to choose the right home, choose the right home site. But when it comes to all the really pretty finishes in here, we've got another superstar team in our design center, and our design center managers will work with you to make sure you're picking the latest fashions that are popular, what you're seeing in magazines, to make the home fit exactly what your taste is. Now, once you've made those selections, we take a small percentage of your design center selections as a second earnest money deposit, and that's it. The financing is set up to, like you're buying a resale. You actually don't close on your loan until the home is complete. So there's no large down payment to put when you write your contract. You're not required to get the construction loan if you're purchasing in one of our communities on one of our home sites. So it's very little out of pocket in order to get started and have a new home built.
And Chris, I have a quick question about the earnest money deposit. Does that all have to be paid the entire amount the day that you sign your contract at the sales model?
Not necessarily. Most of the time it is, Rhoda, but not necessarily. It's something that's being paid within a short period of time from the time we've made the selections for everything and prior to us starting construction, if that helps. And you asked about time frame, correct, Casey?
Yes.
If we're building from the ground up, and let's say we're in Embry Mill today. Right now we're currently quoting deliveries for any home in February of 2021.
And I want to add on for the earnest money deposit too. So at the end, and just like Chris said, this is basically kind of like a resale loan. We'll do everything about 60 days out. That earnest money deposit is credited back to you at closing, so that can go towards your down payment or closing costs. So it's almost like you're just kind of setting aside some of your money that you're going to eventually use anyhow, and it's not something you have to save for, and we just credit it back to you at closing.
We took a few questions when we first sent out the email invitation. One was, what are closing costs? I think it was a first-time home buyer. I'm not necessarily sure what they covered, and how much are they?
Yeah, I mean, so closing costs are gonna vary. I know it was common to say 3% a couple years ago, but it can typically be there. When you're getting to a closing cost, even before you do an application, you could reach out to us and we could put together an estimate for you to break those down. But closing costs typically are going to be, a processing and underwriting fee, appraisal fees, your title company charges, taxes to the state and the county, similar to that. So they fluctuate depending on which county you're in. So if you want to get an ironclad figure or as close as possible, even before application, all we need is a purchase price and a down payment and what community you're in, and we can get you an estimate that'll give you a great idea of what the costs are that are involved.
Also, keep in mind is a preferred lender, Caliber Home Loans offers a $5,000 closing credit, or I said that wrong, credit towards your closing costs. So that would reduce any of your closing costs by $5,000.
It's up to 5,000 and it can vary depending on the community, but here in the scenario that we're here today, I never know that, but absolutely.
All right, Chris, we're right about 22 minutes in. Don't have any questions.
Well, let me tell everybody,
Perfect.
What would happen next. I'm going to go back to where we started. You may have been to our website, or you may not. Please visit our website at atlanticbuilders.com. It's friendly to use, it's fresh, it's got a lot of tools. Take a look at our communities, our home types, and then contact our salesperson on site. We are open for appointments. We have a lot of great things to show. We've got a lot of great specials that are going on right now. So please visit us, call us, and we look forward to seeing you in the model homes.
All right, bye everyone.